Hello viewers, how are you all doing? My name is Perumal Jagan. I'm so delighted to be back. Today, welcome to another excellent episode of Python. Actually, in this series, I'm showcasing how to make your own penetration testing tools and hacking tools by using Python. Today, I'm going to show how to make your own subdomain enumeration tool. Let's start. Before writing our subdomain enumeration program, all we need is to understand the concept behind that. And let me explain that briefly. Assume we have our target web server, a particular domain is hosted on that, let's say google.com, and the subdomain can be any random word that they used. It can be mail, or it can be chat, it can be hangouts, or it can be some other random subdomain. We need to detect that only. And we can detect the subdomain in two ways. Either we can use a direct web request. We can directly try that particular uh, subdomain by sending a web request, or we can use DNS queries. We can use our DNS server to query this particular subdomain whether it is valid or not. If it is getting the IP response, we can assume it as a valid one, and if we are not getting the DNS response, then it is invalid one. So this is the concept behind that. I'm going to explain both web request based subdomain and DNS query based subdomain enumeration in a same video. There won't be much difference in both the codes. So let me showcase that. First of all, we shall start writing program which enumerates the subdomain by using the web requests. Okay, so this is my coding environment. I'm using Visual Studio Code, so it's a popular coding environment, so we can use it. I'm going to create a new file. It's Python, and of course I'm saving it as subdomain enumeration based on web request. Perfect. Now I'm going to use two libraries. One library is requests library. I already explained the requests library in my previous video. You can refer my previous video. I'll put the link in description. And along with that, I'm going to use another library called PyFiglet. It's a library to display the banner. So we can display a beautiful banner before starting our program. So it will help the users to understand what the program is for. So let's call both the libraries here PyFiglet. PyFiglet is not yet installed here. That is why it shows in the yellow line. Now the yellow line disappeared. I installed the PyFiglet at the backend. Next, I am importing requests library 2. The very first thing I'm going to do is to display the banner. So I'm call it as ASCII banner. I created a variable and I'm calling the PyFiglet library here, and I'm going to call the function figlet format. Inside the figlet format function, I'm going to mention the text. I mean the script name. It is subdomain enumeration. Perfect. And I'm also printing this ASC banner. Perfect. I saved this progress. Now let me execute this program. What we get, when I try to get this ASCII banner, I am in that path. I can simply execute the program. Who you can see the excellent banner. In this banner, you can mention the program name, so it will be helpful for others to understand what the program is for. Okay, now let's continue to write our program. Subdomain enumeration, we need to get input from the user. First of all, let's get the input of the main domain. So in order to do that, I'm just creating a variable called domain, and I'm using input function to get some input from the user and enter the domain to enumerate. Perfect. And the next input is the file which contains the subdomain names. So for example, here I created a simple text file which contains the list of words. These words can be used as a subdomain names in our target. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna use this particular list. This list, actually the Python program will apply each and every word with our main domain. It will combine and it will check whether it is valid or not. So that is what we're gonna do. Here I added some valid words, valid subdomains of Google, some invalid words. So this is what we're gonna use. We need to get this file into our program. So let's do that. And I'm naming that list as sublist, and using the same input function, enter the subdomain list. If the list located in another path, then you need to mention the path as well with path. Perfect. Now we got the input file, but we need to open that file and we need to read what are all the words present in that file, correct? So in order to do that, I'm going to use a function called open. So this is going to perform the file operations for us. And the function is open. Inside the bracket, in first argument, I need to mention the file name. And the file name is sublist. So we are getting it from here. The quotation won't come. And I open the file. Now I need to perform the read operation. So I'm calling the read function. So it will read the content of that file, and I'm putting everything in a variable called content. Perfect. Okay. Now, if you see this particular file which contains the list of subdomains, each word is in each line. So it has to read every word one by one. So in order to do that, I need to create another variable which takes only one word at a time. So I'm just using for loop here, for, and I'm creating a variable. A variable I'm naming it as sub, and in content. So this is the for loop that I created. Now this is the variable sub, which will take one word at a time. First it will try hello, either it is valid or invalid. Irrespective of the results, it will move to the second word, then third word. Like that, it will enumerate. So I created the for loop. Now the main sentence that we need to create. I'm gonna create the request line, and I am putting the request line into the variable req equal to f string. If you put f and quotation mark, then it called f string. So inside this string, we can also call strings and also call variables. So this is what it is. I'm calling the string https colon double slash. It is common for every enumeration attempt, so I'm just putting it as a string. So inside this curly braces, I'll be able to call these variables. So first of all, I'm calling the variable sub. So in every in every subdomain, the subdomain name will come first, then dot. I'm mentioning dot as a string, and again I'm adding a curly brace. Inside this curly brace, I'm calling my main domain. So this is the format, and I put everything inside a variable called req. Okay, now what we need to do is, now we formed the main URL. All we need to do is we need to try this URL. Actually, the program has to try this URL to find the valid subdomains, and I'm using try except else statement to perform this. The try except statement is like, there are two possibilities. Either the code may succeed, I mean either the attempt may succeed or the attempt may get failed. So that is why I'm using the try except and else statement here. So I'm getting try statement. Inside the try statement, I'm gonna try that particular URL, and I'm calling requests library dot, I'm sending the get request, get function I'm calling. So inside this function, I'm calling this particular URL that we form, and it is inside this req variable. So I'm calling this variable here. So this is the request. This particular line will trigger the request to the server. Okay, now I'm calling the except statement. In except statement, I need to mention the exceptional case. For example, I'm just sending the request to a server. If the valid subdomain presents, then it will not call this except statement. If the request is invalid, there is no such subdomain, then this exception will be called. So this is what the use of the except statement. And in that except statement, I'm calling the exception error. So I'm calling the request library and connection error. The connection, I mean the exception case. If there is a connection error, then this following sentence will be executed. In case of error, I'm going to print invalid domain. If this particular request is valid, we found a valid subdomain, then we need to print something, right? So I'm calling else statement here. If this try statement succeeds, then it will directly executes the else statement by skipping this except statement. So let me write that. The else statement would be print valid subdomain found, and I'm also printing that particular subdomain. I'm calling the variable here. I think we finished our program, so good to go. I'm saving this. I already created the subdomain list, so all I need is to execute this program. Let's do that. I'm in that path. In same path, I'm keeping the subdomain list also my program. So it is easy to call here. it's Python 3 and I'm calling my Python program. Okay, now I need to enter the main domain that I need to enumerate. It is nothing but google.com, and the domain list. I need to add the file which contains the subdomains, and I already copied the file name which is present in the same path, so I'm mentioning it without the path. The outcome is not expected. I found some error, so let me check what could be the problem. Pyfiglet request banner. I call the domain and sublist, and inside the content variable I opened the file and I read the content. I guess this is where I made a mistake, so let me clear that mistake. I'm just calling it inside the a variable called list, and I'm creating one more line, and this time I'm giving variable name as content. Now list. Actually, this particular line opens the file and reads the content, but it has to read each and every line, right? In order to do that, I need to call another function called split lines. So this is where I made a mistake. So now I called a function called split lines. I put it inside the content. Now in the content, from this content, I created another variable called sub. It will take one particular line, one particular word at a time, and it will enumerate, it will loop. Now I think I cleared the error. Let me verify that. Executing the same once again. Google.com and the path. And the path is same. I'm mentioning the file name. Wow. We got the outcome. We only mentioned around 7 words in that file. It enumerated for the valid domains, valid subdomains, and once the valid subdomain found, it wrote what the domain is. Wow, we got the results now. I said there are 2 methods. We can use web requests to enumerate, and also we can use DNS queries. We just seen how to enumerate the subdomains using web requests. Now let's do it using DNS queries. Now let's create the Python program which uses DNS queries to detect the subdomains, and there won't be much difference, only few modifications to be done in this program so that we will be able to use DNS queries. I created a new file and I just pasted and saving it as subdomain enumeration with DNS query. Okay, perfect. Now let's do the modifications. I don't need request library. I'm not going to use web request, so I'm canceling that. Instead, I'm going to use DNS query. To handle DNS queries, to create DNS related Python program, you need to use library called dns.resolver. So this is the library. Make sure you installed this library in your machine. And this file operation and all same. The major thing is we need to do some modifications here. And this is not a web request, so I'm canceling HTTPS here. So only subdomain word, the name, and the main domain name here. And this line is fine now. And the next thing is we need to remove this request library here. Instead, I'm gonna call DNS resolver library, and in this library there is a function called resolve. It will do the DNS resolution. Perfect. Now I called the word with subdomain and domain. I called the variable here, and the exception will be different, and the exception is DNS exception. I'm just calling this DNS exception here as E. Now I added this line. We can notice a new line is added here. This is the beauty of Visual Studio Code. Whenever you are calling some irrelevant or some new function, the respective library will be added at the top. So that is what happened here. I think we did all the changes that we needed. We go to run the program. We added the DNS resolver library, and we made the change in this main line and in this try statement and the exception handling. This is what the change we made. Let me save it, and I'm going to execute. I have the new program here. Okay, let me run. It's Python 3 subdomain DNS query. Perfect. I'm also copying this. Okay, now I'm entering the main domain and the file which contains the list of subdomains. Let's see. Cool. You can see it is working perfectly. As expected, it found the invalid domains. Later, it found a valid subdomain, and then it detected the valid subdomains. Only 7 entries in that list. It worked perfectly. In this case, it used DNS queries to detect the valid domains, valid subdomains. Hope you really enjoyed this session. If you really learned something new, hit the like button and consider subscribing my channel. You can also share your opinions in the comment section. I'll be replying for those. And yeah, I'll catch you next time with another exciting concept. Until then, signing off. Love you guys. Take care.